Hey, you two, it's Alicia here, and I want to say good morning to you. It is, I think, about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, but I wanted to come and do this video because I wanted to come and talk about WWE. If you wasn't like me and you didn't watch none other than one, the only WWE backstage if you didn't watch it, then baby, you should have been watching it. They had none other one of the biggest conversations, and one of the conversations they had on WWE's backstage with Renee Young, Booker T, Christian Cage, featuring none other Ember Moon and Alex Bliss, got into conversation, and they was talking about the women's division and how Paige has been how Paige and Becky and Charlotte Flair has been very vocal about. And I'm gonna be like one of them. What's going on? I gotta say it. What's going on in everything, because to me, when it comes to that women's division, we were so excited last year when they had none other the women's evolution. Is it because Ronda Rousey ain't there? It's not that exciting, and that's the reason y'all are not having it. I really feel like the women's division can go more up, but you always on every show you feature the five women that needs to be certain women that needs to be featured on NXT, certain women that's going to be featured on SmackDown and Raw. And I actually noticed when it comes to SmackDown and Raw, you are always going to be featuring, when it comes to it, the four horsewomen when it comes to SmackDown and Raw. By what I'm saying is, you featuring none. I have no problems with Becky Lynch. I have no problems with Bayley. I have no problems with Sasha Banks. Y'all know it's a love-hate relationship when it comes to Charlotte Flair. Y'all know how I feel about her. But those women, Vince McMahon is always featuring, and all these other talented women on Raw and SmackDown deserves to be featured. Dana Brooks deserves to be featured. Um, who else? Natty deserves to be featured. It's a swoon of women that deserve to be featured. But you make it all about them five. But when it comes to NXT, hold up. Triple H ain't off the hook yet. It's kind of doing the same thing. It's like Baszler and her little Goonies. I can't think of their name. Io Shirai, Ripley, Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae. I mean, with them, it's like they are like kind of like always featured, but you giving the other women some chances like you did at War Games. To me, it's like, I don't get it. I've been saying for months, something needs to be done. That women's division, yeah, you featured, that was the main event. And I'm going, there is more to it than what you're letting be on. You got to do something. The females is sort of like, to me, it's like you like built it up and we had this female revolution. Yeah, we still got that female revolution and we still doing it. So what's going to happen when Nia Jax return? What's going to happen when Ruby Riott finally return? Because everybody's excited to see when Liv Morgan return. I mean, and stuff. We haven't seen Naomi in months, and you're tying her return up with her husband and her brother-in-law. I understand that. But still, we're waiting. We're waiting and waiting and waiting. And then sometimes the women's storylines are up subdued. I mean, it's like sort of the women's storylines are getting flatter. Duh, it's not truly creative. The only storyline that you got that's doing with a woman is got to be, and I'm going to say, got to be with Lana, Bobby Lashley, and Rusev. Now, I'm going to talk about that at a later date, but that's that. Then you got this. I mean, you got a lot of things and everything for her. And doing this, I just like going, what can they do? And I'm going to say, I'm going to list on here right now 5 things you can do. Number 1, feature some of the other talented female wrestlers. Feature Dana Brooks. Start featuring Dana Brooks more. That's one. I'm saying it. Start featuring Dana Brooks more in a better storyline than Elias. Give her a title belt shot. There you go. There goes something you. I'm handing you something right now, WWE. I'm handing you an idea. Give none other Dana Brooks a opportunity in a better storyline than the storyline you got her with Elias and stuff. That's one. Number 2, build up the women's feuds. Okay, that's number 2. Build them up. Number 3, y'all need to have not once a year. I mean, if you're gonna I feel like you should bring back the Evolution pay-per-view. But one thing about it, if you bring it back, let the event be built not on backs of Trish Stratus, Lita, Ronda Rousey, or not. Rely on these other female wrestlers. Rely on the female wrestlers to build that Evolution up, because that's the only way it's going to work. So bring back Evolution, but not only bring back that, create other pay-per-views that is created around the women's division. That would be cool. You can still have some of the men to be part of it, but mainly make sure your matches it's got a lot to do with the women. So bring back Evolution and bring in more pay-per-views evolving with the women. All right. I remember years ago, y'all had one of the most entertaining things that y'all had part of the women's division. A women's division. Before it was called the women's division, it was called the Divas division. And I remember y'all had the Diva search. I feel like instead of calling it the Diva search, call it the women's wrestling search. None other, looking for the next up and coming female wrestler. That's something I feel like that can build this division and make it great once again. So I feel like giving it an opportunity to see what we can do, that'll be something I can see y'all doing. And fifth, but the last thing is, like I'm saying, I want to see more of female wrestlers that you're not showing a lot of. Like I'm saying, Dana Brooks, Carmella. Who else? I mean, it's Natty, Lacey, let's see, Vega. I mean, hey, that's something I want to see. And I can't wait to see that. That's something like that. But I'm going to give you a 6 and a 7 one, Vega. We all know Zelina Vega when she used to be on TNA. So why you vaguely only show her once in a while of wrestling. Let's see her do a little bit more of wrestling and stuff and everything. I would love to see that. That's one. And number two, I will, and like I'm saying this, WWE. I always have said this. WWE needs to have a accord with Hispanic wrestlers. So why not WWE start working with Lucha Underground and the independent Lucha Libre wrestlers, bringing in bring in Raquel Guerrero, Vicky Guerrero's daughter. Bring her in. I mean, that would be a must thing we need to see. But y'all, that's all of the things I'm listed that we need to see. But like I'm saying, I'm kind of on the offense of agreeing with. I am going to agree with Paige. Something needs to be done. You have done all these accomplishments when it comes to the women, but you kind of has died it down, and y'all only mostly right now is focusing on none other Adam Cole and his little group. That's one. You're mostly just only showing more interest in the men and not the women. The women is not being built, so you need to build them back up. The hype y'all had when y'all first, when the women evolution started. And if I was y'all, I would take note. I would say WWE, take a little bit of a note. Take notes at Tessa Blanchard. In a year's time, the 2 years she has been on TNA, she got signed in 2008. She's been there since then. And look at her now. She was on your Mae Young Classic, and y'all didn't offer her a contract. Look at her now. She's on TNA. She has worked up in the ranks where now, coming in January, she will be facing Sami Callihan for the men's heavyweight title belt. What female you know you can do that to in the WWE? Couldn't be Charlotte. You could do that with Nia Jax and Tamina. I'm not saying take their little thing and what they do it, but take a observe it, look at it, and look and go, oh my God, we had her on the Mae Young Classic, and look at her now. But y'all, that's all I have time for. Don't forget, and let me hear your point of view. Do you think the things that I mentioned in it today in this video that WWE needs to try or do, or needs to see what they need to do to make sure to make sure we love the program and what we see when it comes to this women's division. All right, don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and subscribe.